I'm David Meerman Scott.
And I'm Reiko Scott.
And we're going to teach you how to grow fans of your business.
Make sure to like and subscribe so you see more videos like this. So everyone has a passion. Everyone is passionate about something. And so embracing those passions and your fandom will make you be a more interesting person. You'll lead a more interesting life. And what companies can do is try to embrace the passions of their employees and allow them to continue to be passionate about them while they're still working.
Absolutely. And it's simple stuff like if somebody is a runner and they're training for a race, let them go every afternoon leading up to the big race. There's so many opportunities to let people have the thing they're passionate about continue to be a part of their life.
Exactly, because when you hire someone who is passionate about something, that passion, it's a habit for them. They'll be passionate about work, they'll be passionate about what they do after work, and they'll bring their whole selves to work. And that, like what we said, that passion is also a resource to flow into that company.
And this idea of passion is so underestimated with companies. You know, even just the way people get resumes, it's like, I did this work, I did this work, I went to this school, I went to this school. Like, well, wait a minute, what do you love to do?
Right.
You know, what are the things that are interesting to you?
And so if you're hiring, then asking those questions and being interested in what they say is the response and trying to tease out those answers for people who may be a little bit more shy about not taking that sort of passion to work.
The people have really, really quirky passions and really quirky fandoms, and we've asked a whole bunch of people about what they're passionate about. Someone said that they've been to every single basketball game of their college since they graduated, and it was something like 20 years. Somebody else said that they absolutely love NASCAR racing and go to races all over the country. People who love gardening, people who love bird watching, people who, like us, love live music. And sometimes in an interview setting, you may be uncomfortable sharing with people what you're passionate about. So as an interviewer, if you're interviewing someone, maybe share what you're passionate about first, even if it's quirky. Hey, you know, I've been to 788 live music concerts. That's really weird. What are you into?
And just like we talked about letting go of your creations when you put them out into the world, you also need to let go of your employees in a certain way as well. Let them do what they're passionate about. Let them express themselves in any way that they feel like shows them who they are.
My first job, you don't know this. My first job, I had to punch a clock. It was a punch card. It was Dean Witter Reynolds in New York City. I worked on a bond trading desk. I walk in the morning, take out my card and go ka-clink. And then at lunchtime, do it again. Come back from lunch, do it again. And then leaving, do it again. I hated that. Not because it was the act of punching in. It was the act of them trying to exert control over me in one hand, but then not trust me on another hand. I lasted less than a year at that company, couldn't wait to get out, and it was because they didn't trust me.
And a lot of passions take time, take energy, and take planning ahead of time, and trusting your employees to get their work done and still be able to go to the things that they love is really important. Having that flexibility of schedule in the places that allow it is really important.
The other thing that's really interesting about today's world is that we can all work remotely. We can pull out the computer on a Sunday afternoon and jump in, or at midnight, or whatever time is appropriate to us. So an organization who trusts employees to get the work done when it's convenient for them, and then allows those employees to embrace their passions when they want to do that, leave early to go to a show, or take a long weekend to do something that they love, makes them so much happier, and then they're eager to pull out that computer on a Sunday night.
Right. And think about all the rules that you have at your company, maybe things like uniforms or like other rules like that why do you have that, and what can loosening those rules do for your customers?
So let's back up a little bit. How do you effectively interview for people with passion?
I feel like there are certain questions that you can ask. Like, I heard a good one is, what if you were in a room of 1,000 people, what would you be the best at? And that's sometimes a way of tweaking, getting that out of somebody.
It's an interesting question. How would you answer that?
I honestly have no idea.
I know, I'd have to think about it.
It gets you thinking. There's some other things like, what do you do on the weekend? Or if you had a free day and you could do anything you want, what would you do? It's a lot of ways to get it out.
And so I think, and we've talked with a lot of CEOs when we were doing the research for these ideas of fandom, that hiring someone who has incredible passion about something and maybe is a little bit less qualified for a job on a paper resume, maybe they haven't done this kind of work before, hiring that incredibly passionate person is usually the better choice between employee potential A and potential employee B.